Yeah, that's a pretty significant charge leveled at the educational establishment on the island. Well,
this is nationwide. It's not just restricted to the island.
This is, as Dr. Clark is indicating, this is nationwide. And yes, you were rewarded for failures. If that's wrong, then I'll ask you to go out and look for any grants that deal with school districts or children that are performing above the state reference point or national stay nine. And what you'll find is that there is little or no monies available. If you identify that you have a population of youngsters who are performing at a particular level that's below that, then they'll give you all the resources that you need in order to do the extra help, to bring in people for tutoring, and as soon as those scores start changing, then the monies dry up and you're back to square one again.
So, Michael?
But I wonder if that speaks to the problems that are unique to Long Island. One of the things that I'm concerned about, and you bring up ethnicity, and clearly that is an indicator as to what the differences between different school districts. But community involvement, I believe that is key. I really do, regardless of the economic situations of a given district, whether it's a white district or a black district. I don't think it'll really matter. And I think if you have a district where the community, where the parents, and that really is what we're talking about, are not, excuse me, are not actively involved, are not showing up at the school, or not checking on things, demanding that their students are getting, their children are getting the education they should get. If you don't have that component actively involved, then everything suffers regardless of the amount of monies or whatever else you might have there.
Have you and I in the media, has the media kind of not helped, at least the local media, not helped get people and draw them into being involved in meetings, being involved in programs? I mean, have we failed at all?
No, the media hasn't contributed anything, as far as I'm concerned, to helping the situation. The only time the media shows up is when it collapses, when the problem becomes bad. Exactly, right. When the news is bad, then the media is at the doorstep, and you can read it on the front page. But until that happens, the media isn't very concerned. That hasn't been the case at all.
Dr. Clark, when you were school board president, were people interested in budget hearings and things of that nature?
Oh yes. Now we have to look at this situation historically. You know, if you don't profit from the past, you're bound to repeat those same mistakes in the future. In our community, when I'm talking about our community, obviously I'm talking about the African American community. Traditionally, the school system was one where we had the utmost confidence in. When we sent our child to school, we were assured that that teacher would perform a service in terms of educating that child. That situation no longer exists. A lot of us our families rather, came from southern areas where the school teacher was analogous to an outstanding personality in the community, comparable to a doctor, a priest, a lawyer, etc. A tremendous amount of status, a tremendous amount of respect, a tremendous amount of involvement in the job. They were your community leaders. That was the thing, especially for black females, right, Bob, to be a school teacher, the epitome of black society. That's gone. Now, Ron Edmonds, in my opinion, is the most outstanding black educator that's come along the last 50 years.
Now, who is that? Who
used to be deputy chancellor in New York City. Okay. Unfortunately, he died. You know, we have in our community lingering paranoia. You wonder if they killed him or not. I'm being facetious, of course. Right. But he put together a plan that Michael talked about, and I talked about in my initial remarks. There's no magic to educating children. I have evaluated educational programs in rural Mississippi, in Nigeria, in London, England, in the Caribbean, and kids learn how to read, kids learn how to do math, etc. What are you talking about? I like to use the expression of gestalt. You're talking about an interrelationship of the school, the community, the organizations in the schools, you know, the whole sum total, gestalt, the whole sum total of all of the resources in the community interacting to produce a viable product, with everyone being accountable, everyone interacting, everyone being motivated towards the same goal. That's no longer true. The school system in most of our communities, Michael, has become adversarial.
Okay. Okay. No.
We're no longer partners, we're adversarials.
Would you say that's true, Dr. Pinckney?
Unfortunately, I would have to agree. We've also lost the ability to defend results. I think Dr. Clark is alluding to that, whereby the teachers were held accountable for the youngsters, that they were given them in September, and they were expected to carry them to a certain level of knowledge by the end of that June. And if it didn't occur, then there were reasons for discussed and corrections were made. Now we are conditioned to low expectations for some of the students, and it might have to do with a combination of things. It may be economical, it may be racial, it may be gender-wise. otherwise. But the fact still remains is that we are not giving back to the community. The word that was used this morning was product. We're developing a product at the end of the 12th year. That product is supposed to be self-sufficient, able to stand on its own and function in the adult world. The community is feeling that we're not giving them the numbers of youngsters in that product, and therefore there's a problem there. I have to say to them they're correct. And the part and parcel, I really feel there's a notion of why we've lost, and it's called the wink, the nod, and the touch. We've lost that ability to care about the students. In Westbury, we say, do unto the children of Westbury as you would have done unto yours. And where you have the school systems and the teachers who care and have high expectation for the students' abilities to learn, you have the results that you want. And you have the community supporting the schools, and things are going along as smoothly as anything can go along in a society where there's more than one. Where you have people coming in and collecting a biweekly check, and we're not getting the results, then you have students who are unhappy, parents who are unhappy, community who isn't happy, and you have a declining educational program.
Well, let's explore that a little bit now.